Yo, if you from uptown, Brooklyn bound, Bronx, Queens, and Long Island Sound, even other cities come right and exact, but it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. From city to city, from state to state, naturally and we raising the stakes, and we doing this.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we have our full 2019 starting lineup. If you watch this channel for a while, you realize these are my starting lineup videos are like my favorite videos to do, and fall is my favorite season to do them, so this can be like my favorite video to do of the year. You know, it's sort of early enough in the season so that if you like something you see, you might have an opportunity to grab it and wear it, and it's late enough in the season that I'm actually giving you a sort of real impression of the things that I'm actually wearing. This list was developed by a reviewer named Brandon years and years ago, and it's something I really like to do seasonally. So let's just get right into it because we got a bunch of fragrances to get to. First, my signature fragrance this year, and it is going to be a tie. Don't think I've ever done that before, maybe once or twice, but the first one, there's two that I'm going to be wearing a lot, signature-wise, this fall. And the first is this guy from Guerlain. That's L'Instant de Guerlain. Not the extreme. This is the original, and to me, it's a little bit more wearable. It's a little bit more friendly. It's got cocoa and patchouli and sandalwood and anise, but this one has a citrus element to it, which the other one kind of, it's denser. It doesn't have that citrus to it. Sort of a little bit like the difference between a Dior Homme Intense and a Dior Homme, say. But this is gorgeous, and I think this one really shines in the cooler weather. Now, what this has to split time with, and I'm going to have a video coming up on this guy very shortly, is the fragrance that I've never gotten more compliments wearing fragrances than this. And it's a duo fragrance, so a few people are going to not like that, but this is Casino Elixir. And what Casino Elixir is a crossover of Baccarat 540 Rouge and Aventus. Now, I don't think Aventus is the bee's knees. You guys know that. I think it's a good fragrance. I don't go cuckoo over it. I think it's good. This guy, and I also don't like Baccarat Rouge 540. I just don't like Baccarat Rouge 540. I think I've said that many, many times. This combination, it's not the most interesting thing I've ever smelled, but it envelops the wearer in this just cocoon of sugary freshness, and people will compliment you. I've talked my friends into getting this. They've all gotten compliments. If you just are looking for some compliments, this is a compliment monster. And because of that, there are going to be certain times this fall where I wear this fragrance. Now, my work fragrance is this guy. And this one is from the House of Aramis. And this is called Tobacco Reserve. And I've seen different feelings on this one. Seen it get poo-pooed a little bit in some of the fragrance groups. I've seen people say, whoa, this one is the truth. I really like it. It's sort of this green tobacco fragrance. It's still got like a sweet tobacco vibe, but there's clary sage in here, and there's nutmeg and oak moss. So as the juice is kind of has a green hue to it, this is kind of a green tobacco fragrance and kind of fresh and uplifting, but it's still got that sweet tobacco, almost pipe tobacco thing to it. I think it's really good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a hay vibe. I think it's really wearable. I think it's a really good office scent, and you get a 5-ounce bottle for $20. So it's kind of hard to not think. At the very least, there's some really good value there. I'm going to be wearing it a lot to my office. Now, my, Night Out scent. This is one of the newer fragrances, niche fragrances I purchased. This is from the House of Montal, and this one is called Spicy Oud. Spicy Oud. Now, this to me is a lot like Noir de Noir by Tom Ford without the rose. And I don't really like rose, so you've got oud in here, you've got patchouli, you've got saffron, you've got a nice mandarin orange note. It's sort of cozy. It sort of has that oud vanilla cookie vibe that I really like. It's just warm. It's like a warm oud. It doesn't smell to me like other Montal oud fragrances. It sort of smells like it's its own thing, and it's really good to wear at night. It's a really nice full night out fragrance. The oud comes through. The saffron definitely comes through. The patchouli, the mandarin, and the oud. Really nice combination. So I'll be wearing that one quite a bit out at night. Now, my between the sheets, or sort of, I don't know what you want to call it, date sexual fragrance, is going to be this one from Atelier d'Or. This is called Crepuscule d'Ami. And wow, this is so good. And this is really like a sexy freaking fragrance. This has hyrax in it. So it's got that animalic, a little bit of that animalic things going on here. You've got incense. You've got some pimento, like a pimento berry, like a spicy pimento berry note. And you've got clary sage in here as well. It's sort of herbal, it's sweet, and it's animalic, but it's not super animalic. If you're not a fan of like a lot of civet or a lot of castoreum, this is a little bit more restrained. The bottle's gorgeous on this. It's got the gold flakes and this heavy cap, and yeah, it's just really, it's sexy and animalic, but not being like overt about it. It's just sort of this really nice, sweet, restrained, like animalic fragrance, and I think it's really well done. Next, we're going to look at one. This is going to be my black tie fragrance, and this one is from the house of Cartier, and it's called Envol. And this is the eau de parfum of Cartier Envol. And this is going to be my black tie / dressed up fragrance. This is really, really good. I haven't smelled the eau de toilette version. I only have smelled the eau de parfum. That's the one I went for. I think that's the one I blind bought this because Luca Turin had really nice things to say about it. It's got some honey. There's a spicy, smoky gaiac wood in this that's offset by a creamy iris, and that's why I think I really enjoy this one. There's some violet in here as well, but really it's about a smoky wood, some creamy iris, a little bit of violet, a little bit of honey. Again, just a gorgeous friggin' bottle. Look at this thing. This is as heavy as a bottle as I've ever come across, at least in the designer realm. And it's really good. It's different from everything that's out there. I really like the fact that Cartier is putting out fragrances that aren't going for that ambroxan fruity thing. This is really different from everything else that's lining the shelves up at at Sephora. This is a just really nice floral, smoky, woody fragrance. And then I've sort of been ignoring the daring and going with like a rediscovered fragrance, because what's really daring for me? There's not too many things that are daring. Well, I blind bought this guy, and this is daring, and I really like it. From the house of Odery, this is called Glee. Now, some of you guys might know Odery from Odery Tobacco, which may be the best tobacco fragrance ever created. Also, Odery is created by the grandson of Enzo Gagliardi, I'm pretty sure, who started the House of Boys 1920. So this was the brand that Gagliardi did prior to Boys 1920, and this fragrance is crazy. It's one of the greenest fragrances I've ever smelled. There's lime here. There's bay leaf, there's celery seed, there's rosemary, there's cumin. This is a really spicy green herbal fragrance. If you don't like celery seed and cumin and caraway and notes like that, you're probably not going to like this. But if you sort of appreciate those notes and you go with 1 or 2 sprays of this is really good. It just smells really green and invigorating, and the herbs are really well blended. It really smells like a man's fragrance, if you know what I mean. Like 1 spray of this, maybe unshaven for a day or two. You got your Indiana Jones gear on, and this kind of smells like a man's scent. So this is going to be my daring fragrance. All right, so let's recap them. What's going on for fall of 2019, guys? Well, the everyday scent, or the signature, is going to be L'Instant de Guerlain, the original, and Casino Elixir by Dua. The work fragrance is going to be Tobacco Reserve by Aramis. The night out fragrance is going to be Spicy Oud by Montal. The Between the Sheets fragrance is going to be Crescol d'Ami by Atelier d'Or. The dressed up fragrance is going to be L'Envol Eau de Parfum by Cartier. And the daring fragrance is going to be Gli Odori by Odori. So guys, that's it. That's going to be my lineup for fall 2019. What do you think of these picks? Do they work for you? Have you tried any of these? What do you think of them? And let me know what you're going to be wearing this fall. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you again real soon with more videos, guys.
You know the drilly blast straight from the city that'll never sleep. You better keep some heavy heat within your leather piece to represent the streets from uptown to the lower east side. Puffin' a lot, word life and wild, bust a slug in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Grand projects, baby, 1, 2, 5.